Well, hello, and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in the craft room. I am Caron Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator in Austin, Texas, better known in my womb world as the ATX Stamping Lady. Welcome to you guys for joining me on this Thursday night. And on Thursday nights, we case the catalog. Um, Tonight we are casing the Seaside Bay from the current annual catalog. But this set was first introduced to us in the mini catalog, the January through April 2023. It was introduced to us as a suite, but the bundle carried over into the current catalog. So this is where 2022 is where this SAM set was first originated. So as always, you guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your company tonight. So sit back, relax, enjoy. If you have the stamp set, feel free to join me. And for those of you, if this is your first time joining me here in the craft room, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for returning and spending some time with me. We're gonna make this time worthwhile. You guys, let me apologize, take a minute to apologize for the delay. I did start a lot later than I wanted to start. I'm just going through a lot of my technical stuff, and it just may be time for me to invest in a new computer, because let me tell you, it was about 30 minutes just for me to get on today. So be that as it may, I'm here now. I'm ready to get started. And again, thank you. It is the last day of August of 2023. And what does that mean for you guys? Let me tell you what it means, okay? If you shopped with me in my online store in the month of July, today is the last day for you to shop using your bonus coupons from shopping with the bonus days in July. If you don't use them today, you can't use them tomorrow because they expire tonight. So if you have not already, and I know you haven't, go through your emails and try to find those coupons so you can stick them in your order and get that order in tonight. All right, so as always, we do try to get our announcements out of the way so we can get to the fun. Let's take a look and see what we got going on today. You guys, today is the last day to subscribe for my 2022 September to December mini catalog paper share. What does that paper share mean? You get to get a portion of each of the 15 designer series / pattern paper and specialty papers that's in the new catalog. The catalog goes live on the 6th of September. I will place my order as soon as possible on the 6th. And whenever it gets in, I'll get to cutting and getting your papers ready. I would love to have at least 4 people sign up. There's a couple of slots still left, but hey, I got however I got, I'm gonna roll with it and make it happen, okay? So paper share, I will post the link to the paper share to reserve your spot. I will post that in the description box. Please feel free to sign up and get your share of the paper share. Don't forget, we've got Paper Pumpkin coming up. Paper Pumpkin for this month is the, oh my God, I can never remember the name of it. But it's like, I think it was with Grace and Love. I think that's what it is. Anyway, join me. If the last day to subscribe for the current Paper Pumpkin subscription box is September 11th. So you do have, what is it, maybe another 2 weeks or so to sign up for the current subscription box. You can do a subscription by month. If you do a monthly subscription, you pay a little bit more. However, it's up to you whether you skip a month or you get them coming like clockwork every month. You can reserve a quarterly subscription and biannual, which I think is every 6 months, or you can do a year's supply of paper pumpkin. Now y'all, that's a pretty good darn gift. If you can get somebody to gift you 6 months to a year of paper pumpkin, that is awesome. It's the gift that keeps on giving monthly for 6 months or for a year. As always, you guys, if there's anything that you see that I use in my demonstration of the products for you tonight, and you like what you see, don't forget to shop using the host code. The host code expires at midnight tonight. There will be a new host code for the month of September. And again, I will do the drawing for August winners. I will do that on, well, I guess I'll do it on Saturday. Saturday is the 2nd of September. So without further ado, y'all, let's flip the camera down to the desktop so we can get started. Alrighty. As always, you guys, if you pop in while I'm talking, please let me know where you're watching from. Say hello and let's get started. So we're working with the Seaside Bay stamp set. Now, this is a bundle. Well, it's not a bundle in the catalog, okay? It was a bundle in the January to April, but it is now you can get the stamp set and you can get the dies separately. You can no longer save 10% on them as a bundle. Okay, so here's the stamp set and the dies. I'm also going to be using a new item. This is the deckled circles dies, and these are in the new September to December mini catalog, so they're not available for purchase until the 6th of next month. Now we're also going to be using Retired, the coordinating by the Bay designer series paper. This was available in 2022, so we are going to use this paper to complete our projects. All right, so let me share with you which ones we're going to work on today. We're going to try to get through anyway. And you guys, if I'm not seeing that there's anybody with me live today, so I say all that to say if I don't talk a lot, it's because there's no one there talking with me. I will have conversations as necessary, but if nobody joins me or talks to me, then I'm probably not going to be talking too much to myself. I'm just going to concentrate on what I'm doing. All right, so page 22, this is from the catalog. So the ones I'm going to work on, I think I'm going to work on this one, and if I have time, we're going to work on this guy right here. So these are the two that I think we're definitely going to try to get done tonight, and then this one we're also going to try to get done as well. Okay, so let's get started. This one is the simplest one, so we're going to work on this one first. Now in the catalog, we worked with the this is the stitched, it looked like the stitched circles. Y'all, I'm breaking out the deckled circles, so I'm going to use the deckled circled dies on this one. So I've already cut my pieces of cardstock that I'm planning to use. Let's put this aside. And I believe they'll both fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. So let me just go grab the mini cut and emboss machine, and we'll get this stuff die cut out and ready to use in our projects tonight. As always, if the camera shakes, I apologize. I see there's someone watching. Please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and thank you for joining me tonight. I tried to make sure that you know, I cut the cardstock so that we could definitely use the mini cut and emboss machine. So I have replaced the magic mat, one of the cutting plates, and I've used the in place of that I've used the magic mat. It is a, what do you call those, that kind of paper? I know what I want to call it, but I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. But it's that kind of, oh gosh, if I remember what it is, I will definitely tell you what I was trying to say on that one. So here's what's going on, you guys. I think the last time I checked today, I was at 154 viewers and y'all, or subscribers, and y'all, I want to get to 300 subscribers, and I want to get to 300 subscribers by the end of September. I think it's doable, and I'm asking your help to help me achieve that goal. Okay, 100 subscribers by the end of September. So what that means is I need for you to invite all of your friends to watch and to subscribe, and have their friends watch and subscribe, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's put these back in here, and I'll tell you which ones I used. Okay. Ugh, I always get this all mixed up. So there are 14 dies in here, and so I used, trying to get everybody back where they belong. So I used the 5th and the 6th from the middle to cut out my my circles. Okay, that's what I used to cut out my circles for tonight. So my circles are done, and I'm using Coastal Cabana as my card base. Coastal Cabana, according to the designers, the artists, is one of the coordinating colors in this bundle, okay, or in the designer series paper. All right, so now I'm trying to find, okay, so here's our card base. Our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I thought I had another piece of Coastal Cabana here. I know I did, but I don't know where I put it. Give me 1 second. Let me grab another piece of Coastal Cabana. Here we go. Here's another piece right here. And what I need to do with this is I need to trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so with one of our, we're going to use the pearl, and we're just going to randomly stamp all over this to add a little texture. And I'm gonna, even though it just had the little sand dollar or the circle, I'm actually going to use bring in this little shell here as well to start adding a little texture to the cardstock as well. Okay, so, and again, I'm gonna make this a little bit of tone. No, it's not tone on tone. I think, well, I'm gonna make it tone on tone. So let me grab my Coastal Cabana ink pad. Put this out of the way. And we're just gonna randomly stamp our little seashell across our 4 by 5 1/4 panel. Again, I'm just randomly stamping. And I'm stamping the shell at full strength. I'm not stamping off at all with this shell. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do, let me clean this off, is I'm just going to get right in there, clean this off, and I'm going to go in with the small shell, the small circle. And here I'm going to do a little bit of I think I could probably even get a 3rd generation out of it. So I can, seems like I have little bubbles, well, not little bubbles, some bubbles coming out. And so we have kind of just, not even kind of, we have just created our own designer series paper here. And it's just as simple as that. You guys, just as a note and a tip for you guys, if you ever think, oh, I don't have any designer series that you want to go at, but you have an idea of what it is that you want, just grab out that stamp and create your own. I'm going to do a video with you guys just for creating your own pattern paper. It is so beautiful. Matter of fact, I may do that next week instead of doing a Case Your Caddy. All right, so here we go. So our designer series paper is complete. And now we're just going to attach our circles that we just die cut. So we see that the first one is going to be somewhere around here. The next one is going to be somewhere around here. Like so. And then we need to stamp our little crab. Y'all, I brought in a whole bunch of basic white cardstock for me to stamp on, and only the good Lord knows where I put them. All right, so I'm gonna bring out my crumb cake here. And there are dies for these. Not sure if I'm gonna use dies just because sometimes I find that maybe it's a little faster for me if I just bring out the snips and do a little bit of fussy cutting. So we'll see what I decide to do here. All right, so with the crumb cake, I'm gonna stamp one, and then I'm going to do a 2nd generation. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just gonna die cut these. I think I can. I'm just gonna fussy cut them, y'all. Sorry. If you're watching on the replay, you can always fast forward to avoid the fussy cutting. If you are watching the replay. If you're not, I'm sorry, you're gonna watch me fussy cut. It shouldn't be that hard. Should be fairly quick. To get the fussy cutting done. And as always, there's a couple of things that I just cannot do very well, and that's I don't typically color very well and talk. I make a lot of mistakes that way, and I definitely don't do a lot of talking when I'm fussy cutting, because I really do make a lot of mistakes that way. So if I'm not speaking, that is the reason, or at least one of them. And just like that, we have fussy cut our little crab for our cardstock. Now these snips are Stampin' Up paper snips. They are awesome snips. Very precise. Perfect. And just like that, our crab is cut. All right. So here's what we have. We're going to put this guy right here. Then we're going to put this guy right about so. And then let's get our sentiment so we can stamp our sentiment as well and get that. So we need a thank you for everything. And there's a lot of gold running through here. So I think I'm going to heat emboss it with gold. Okay. I'm going to heat emboss it with a little bit of gold. Here's my little powder thing, my anti-static tool. And here's my Versamark. Make sure my stamp is inked up very well. And then I'm just going to add my thank you right here. Okay. I'm gonna grab my gold embossing powder. Get my little tray. Perfect. Okay. Put the remnants right back in the container. So tomorrow we do, at work, we do a, we're doing a team outing, team building event. So if the boss says it's okay, I'll be posting some pictures of our team at work, hanging out, doing a little team building. That's dry. Now I'm going to bring out a label die. I'm going to just punch that out. Well, not punch it. We're going to die cut it out. And then we'll be ready to put card number 1 to bed. Okay. I find I'm definitely using my pink, my green, my mint tape a lot. Especially for die cutting and to hold the dies in place. So I have definitely been resorting to that. It is definitely a great tool to have. Okay. Now that that's in place, just gonna grab our cutting machine. Put that back in the frame. Oh, I do need to cut this out though. I just got to trim it down to make sure it goes through the machine. That's all. Okay, so now that it's on, let's grab the top cutting plate and get this run through the machine, and then we'll have all the elements that we need for our card in place. I'm just rolling back to front. Oh, I didn't open the other side. That's what the problem was. Here we go. Okay. Put that in my little magnet tray there so I don't lose it. All right, so now let's start building this card. So we know this is going to be right here or somewhere in this vicinity. Then we're going to have this. Then we're going to have our sentiment, and our sentiment is going to be popped up right so. And then we're going to have our crab like so. Okay, so that's how everything needs to be formatted. So let's grab our glue, or y'all know I love my glue, my liquid glue. So we're going to put our circle, and again I use the deckled circle punch, available in the new September to December mini catalog. which is available live on the 6th of September, which is in the next couple of days. For those of you that have your catalogs or have had your catalogs, have you been going through and do you have your lists and you know which ones you're going to order first? Alrighty, I'm going to put that guy right here, like so. Then we're going to grab our dimensionals or our foam tape. Grab our foam tape. One more strip. I tell you, I love my dimension. I love to add dimensions to cards. For me, it is a texture thing. It just adds, it just looks different. When I see a card that I make that maybe don't have so much dimension, it's just like, okay, it's okay. But the minute I start adding some dimension to it, it's like, oh yeah, now it really starts to show. Now it's really starting to, you know, develop in my brain. So, all right, here we go. Let's get our sentiment on. So I'm prepped for, we have our shoebox, our monthly shoebox gathering scheduled for Sunday. It's always the first Sunday of the month, and our hostess, her element for the month was, what did she decide to do? She added foil, DSP designer series paper, I think is what she added, was her element. Otherwise, we have to make our cards have to use punches or die cuts. We have to use designer series or foil or designer series paper. Pattern paper is what that's also called. So I want to make sure I put this here so I know that my dimensions need to be on that side. Okay. And then we're gonna need some, and I don't want to block my 4, so we're gonna angle, we're gonna put one at the bottom right down here too. And the placement of your dimensionals is kind of important. So, you know, especially if you're having it to elevate from something else, it's just kind of important to make sure that watch your placement of things. Okay, and so this guy is gonna go like this, and then he's gonna do that. Perfect. Now we get to trim this half of the paper off. Perfect. Okay. Now it's time to put it together and call this card. Oh, we need to do an inside. We need to do the inside. And again, just a little extra, just by adding the the stamps to the base of the card just gives it a little bit more of a design element, a little bit more flair. And I really want this to pop up, so I'm looking for my foam sheet. Okay. So what this foam sheet is that these are just some foam sheets that I got in one of the craft stores, and I used the Stampin' Up double-sided sheets, adhesive sheets on both sides, and I just made them dimensional. For the amount that I use, it just made more sense for me to use this element in this manner. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty. All right, so our card is done. Perfect. I'm definitely wanting to add some, well, here's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna go in with my Wink Stella pen. Just add a little bit of glitz and glam. All right, so there we go. I need a piece of cardstock for the inside of my card. That is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm gonna bring my little crab guy back in. And I don't want him to be too dark, so I'm gonna need to stamp off. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper. Stamp off and have him here and then here. Awesome. So the stamp set of the month. So next month I'm going to, the stamp set that I'm featuring will be the Garden Walk collection, Sweet collection. It is in the new catalog. I don't remember the page number that it's on, but again, most of the projects that I will be creating will be created using that stamp set, that collection. Okay, so now I'm also gonna grab me an envelope, and now I'm gonna do my envelope because what do we say? No naked envelopes. Now we can go full strength with Mr. Crab. And that's it. And just like that, card number 1 is complete. And we've got a decorated inside and we've got a decorated outside. All right. So now we're going to start on card number 2. And this one's not that hard. It's just a little detailed in what needs to be done, but we can get it done. Okay. I think we had an embossing folder that was like a corrugated paper, I think. But I don't know where that is. I don't think I got it. So what I ended up doing with this is I took a piece of cardstock that is, this one is 4 by 5 1/4. And all I did was I ran it through, I had it on my scoreboard and I scored every quarter inch, okay? So that created the lines. So now the next thing I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna grab my Fleur de Flamingo. I might need to reinforce some of these score lines. Hold on. They're not as crisp as I need them to be for this project. So I'm going to bring out my score pal and just reinforce these score lines just a bit. All right. Line them up in the 1/4 inches. And I'm just trying to reinforce fairly pronounced, at least on one side. Oops. What is going on here? Okay. All right. Delicious, delicious, delicious. So now that we have those, I'm going to bring in my Fleur de Flamingo ink pad. And I'm going to do a little bit of the ink dragging technique, okay? Fleur de Flamingo. And then I do need that scrap paper back. And all I want to do is I'm going to ink drag. I'm going to start off of the cardstock on the scratch and then just drag it just like that. Then I'm going to turn my paper and then I'm going to drag it just like that. Okay. Again, something else that you can be done. I added a little bit of color. I made my little score line stand out a little bit, make it look a little bit more like the cardstock that's in the paper, right? All right, so let's get started with the next step. Okay, what did I do with that cardstock? I tried to pull all of my cardstock from before. So I'm gonna need that, and I'm gonna need this. Now, my little cheat sheet there from the Stampin' Up guys told me that here's what I wanted to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the little wave here. So I have some peaks and valleys, just according to the same as it is on the paper. And a little bit of that. And then I'm gonna do this one. Like so. Sorry about that. Didn't turn off my notifications on my computer. So I know you can hear it. All right. Now these don't have to be perfect. Just kind of sort of follow along. Okay. So we're going to do something like this. And this part is done. Okay. So now we just have some decisions and choices that we have to make. So this is 4 1/4, 4 inch. So we need this to be 4 inches wide. And so we're going to trim this to 4 inches. And we're gonna make this a 4. Did I do 4? Yeah, so we're gonna make this 4. We're gonna make it a 4 by 4 1/4. Okay. So this is gonna go on here like so. And then we're going to build our wave, right? Because we want some to be here. And then we want this to be underneath. Just want to be able to see a little bit of dimension and texture. Okay. And maybe we just do, this would be enough. Okay, so I think that's kind of what we're gonna do, okay? So we know where this guy is gonna go. And then we know this is gonna go under here, like that. Okay, so this has to go down first. Okay. And then we're just going to move this guy this way. Okay. So that part's done, and now we just need to stamp and die cut our elements and complete this card, okay? This one went a little bit faster than the other one, except we have to stamp and color next, okay? So, ooh, maybe not. Ooh. Sometimes we make things so difficult for ourselves, right? So we're gonna add him about right here. And I said that because, guys, let's take a look at the paper. And I wish I had done that a little bit closer, because I think, let's see. This paper was absolutely gorgeous and I love it, which is why I have so much of it. You know, when you love something, you love something. I thought there was a print in here that had the birds already colored. I could be wrong. I was not wrong. There it is right there. So that's one bird. Is there one that has the little babies? All right, I don't see the baby birds. So we might actually have to stamp and color them. Okay. I do keep my pieces because you can make use of them in some way, shape, or form. All right, so here we go. With this one, we're going to move this out of the way for a little bit. And I'm just going to cut one of these guys, and so that I don't waste, this looks like it's maybe about a 2-inch piece. Yeah, I think if we cut 2 inches off, would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. So why did I do that? So that I actually have usable pieces of cardstock at the end of the day. Okay. So again, we could bring the dies out. But again, this image is fairly simple, so I am not going to do that. I'm just going to fussy cut it out. Have you guys been watching any good TV lately? I tend to binge watch shows a lot. Is anybody else a binge watcher? I binge shows. So, and I'm also a fan of British television. I love and I subscribe to Acorn TV. Acorn is another British network. There's BritBox, there's BBC, and things like that. But Acorn is the one that I subscribe to. And there's this series that I'm watching. It's called Janet King. And the heroine, she's a, what do they call them in England? I don't know, solicitor general, I think is what they're called. But anyway, she's an attorney. And let me tell you, she is probably the most unlucky person I have ever seen. Now, unlucky in that something is always happening to her in terms of storylines, I guess, people dying, etc., etc., or some kind of trouble, and lucky in that she always gets out of it. So she's the most lucky person I think I've ever seen. Anyway, good show. If you are looking for a good British drama to watch, I would recommend that. I also just watched, but I think Endeavor is on PBS. I just binge watched the Endeavor series as well. And let me tell you, just for fun, who is it that I'm watching now? I'm watching, just for fun, it's, oh, I just finished watching that series. Oh my goodness, what's it called? I just watched it last night too. Claim to Fame. Oh my God, have you seen that show, Claim to Fame? It's hosted by the Jonas Brothers. I know, right? The Jonas Brothers. But it's still a good show, regardless of who it's hosted by. And so what it is, it's called Claim to Fame. And so you have folks that are related to celebrities. I'm gonna go with blue here because that's what seems to be. So this looks like Night of Navy. And throughout the entire season, the other contestants have to try to figure out, based on the clues, who everybody's celebrity relative is. I know, right? Alrighty. Alright, so I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit. And then there's some pinks in there and a little bit of, I think on the babies there's just the pink. So I'm gonna grab my petal pink, my dark petal pink. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of color. I might do Flirty Flamingo if I think I need to, but just for color. And I think there's a dye for that one. Let's see. Yep. It's just faster this way. So we're gonna need to die cut this. And then, where's my little my pieces of mint tape. And then we're gonna need to die cut a couple. Make sure this is lined up. Then these need to be adjusted. Oops, that's something's not right here. And I just want to make sure these guys are cut out properly with the right amount of I think we got it right there. So put that here and then put this here, and I'm going to rip this off a little bit. All right, and the next thing we're going to need is we're going to need a couple of the these guys right here. Okay, so we're gonna need to, I can't believe I have not used this guy already. What was I doing? Okay. So I'm gonna do, here's my trick again, you guys. So when I'm needing to cut 2 or more of something, if it's a blank piece of paper like this, I'll just put them like this, and 2 of them will come out. 2 of the big ones. And if there any way, let's see if we can fit all of these into one. If we can, perfect. Look at that. So we can make them all fit. Hey, Tamika. Glad to see ya. All right, so here's my little trick again. So I'm gonna need 2 of the larger sea plants, and I'm gonna need 2 of these. So the best way to do that is I'm gonna conserve, and I'm gonna get them all die cut in one, just like that. All right, let's grab our little mini die cut and emboss machine. And then we're going to need our cutting plates. Plate number 1, our magic mat, and this guy right here. And we are going to get these things cut out. I have to remember, Tamika, when are we doing your hop? I forgot. I gotta go look. I didn't put it in my calendar. I just knew that I was doing it. But I don't recall writing it in my calendar. We'll have to run this one through again. So we've got our 3 babies right here and right here. And then make sure I put this away. I'm gonna run this through one more time. And I'm gonna add a piece of cardstock over it. So when you are doing that double cutting in one pass, you may really have to add a little bit of an extra. All right, so here we go. Oh, Lordy. One more step. Still the thank you for everything. All right. I'm going to use my embossing powder here. I did put the sentiment away. Here we go. So if you were able to share my video, definitely use the hashtag share. And I'm going to put this a little bit higher. And for tonight, if you share my video and you let me know that you share, I'm giving away a pack of 4-pack of cards, all occasions, with envelopes. I love that Stampin' Up! Does its designer series paper now, that there's enough clear elements, or yeah, so that you actually can you can actually emboss it or even stamp directly onto the cards, the designer paper. I absolutely love that. Okay. And then once we're done with that, you guys, all we gotta do is assemble card number 2 and we are done. All right, so what do we have coming up next in the craft room? So what is this? The last day of the month. So the next thing we have coming up on the second Sunday of the month is our YouTube blog hop. There will be 4 participating members in the hop next month being September. So our hop will start at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I believe the last one will start at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Alrighty. Next week on we've got to do Paper Pumpkin Fun Day. I have quite a bit of kits amassing. Oh, 923. Thank you very much, Tamika. And so there is going to be another YouTube hop featuring projects from the mini catalog. That's hosted by Tamika at Tamika Smiles, Sending Smiles. This will be my first time hopping with her and her group, and I am looking forward to it. Something happened to this thing here. Huh. There you go. Anyway, here we go. And now it's time to put everything together. And again, I like to put things in place first to see how I like to lay them out, how I want to lay them out, where I think they would fit, if I need to make adjustments. And then once I've figured that part out, then I will go ahead and use adhesive and put things into place. Okay, so here we have, I think we're gonna do one like that. Like that and like that, I think. And then On this side, we're going to do the same thing. 1 and 1. And then I think Mama's going to go here, like so. Right? Then you've got baby number 1. Baby number 2. And again, I'm just placing in general areas. And then the last one will be here. Something like that. I think that's how that's going to work. All right. Let me grab my little reversible tweezers here because I'm going to need a little bit of help here. All right. Let's grab these off. Because now we have an idea as to where we want them to go, right? The beauty of reversibles. I love me the precision tip glue tips. Love them, love them. It's there. Means you can get little dots of glue. Uh-oh, I dropped one. I dropped something. Okay. And this guy's gonna go in. Oops, I don't want you there. I want you in here somewhere. Right, like so. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the bigger ones. And so we need this guy to go right in here, like so. Got a busy day at work today. I was in training a lot. Okay. Now, I know Mama's got to be popped up. Somebody's going to be popped up in here because the girl don't roll like that. She's got to have dimensions and pop-ups and stuff. Because y'all know this already. You know that's how I am. Gotta have them, gotta have them. Okay. Oh, and I think, like I said, next week, I'm going to come to y'all live next week on another day because I want to play with, show you guys some fun with creating your own designer series paper. Now, I'm sure you can go out there on YouTube anywhere and find other folks that have done it, but I've never done it with y'all, and so I just want us to create some designer series paper. So start thinking in your heads. You'll need some stamps that are, I tend to work in florals or leaves, but you can use any image stamp set. So find a stamp set that you like that has flowers, leaves, and then have whatever the stamp set is that you are using. Try to make sure you pick one that has images of different sizes. So if you're going to go with flowers, Make sure you have you choose one that has a varying sizes of flowers. You know, some large ones, some medium ones. Same thing with the florals, okay, or the leaves, the foliage. And then you can pick 3 or 4 different colors. And I'll tell you a little bit more when I'm getting ready to do the class or the video. So that way you can have a better idea as to which product you're wanting to choose. And I'll tell you what I'm going to use. That might help you a little bit too. I see so many other demonstrators that use their reversible tweezers like religiously, and I'm like, you know, there is a purpose for them, y'all. Especially when you're working with tiny detailed images. There is definitely a rhyme, reason, and purpose for having them. All right, so here we go. And then this guy will go right here. And then we can assemble our card. I know I so hate to cover up and use the back of this, but I'm so I hate it sometimes that the designer series paper that coordinates with a set or suite sometimes, most times, oftentimes just don't carry over into the next season or the next catalog. But the designer series paper is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. All right. So now all I'm gonna do is, this card is almost done, y'all. I didn't use a whole lot of additional embellishments. And if you missed when I did the paper in the beginning, this is the card base. On the base is the same petal pink. I just used the ink pad dragging technique on some scored cardstock, the petal pink, to create the little corrugated look and the color that's here. All right. And then lastly, I'm getting ready to add me some dimensionals, or a sheet, some foam sheet to finish off this card. So my blog hop partners, we have a blog hop that's scheduled. I'm not sure I'll be participating though, but I may have a go at creating that card. You following that theme? It's a waterfall technique. I think I've done it once. It's not usually the type of card making that I do. I just don't do a lot of interactive type of cards. But I love it. I love the effect that you would get from it. So I don't think I'll have the time to get it done. If I do, you'll see a blog that goes live on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, featuring the waterfall technique. And y'all, here we have our cards for the evening. So we have cased 2 of the cards featuring the Seaside Bay stamp set from the annual catalog. I love them. They're very simple. Both of them, we kind of the techniques that we use, we're creating our own background panels. This one we use the make your own DSP technique, and this one we used the ink dragging technique over scored lines on some regular cardstock. With that note, you guys, if you do try any of the products that I'm using tonight, please don't forget to use the host code. This host code is good until tonight, at midnight tonight. There will be a new host code that is posted available tomorrow for the month of September. So if you do use the host code, definitely you will be entered into the drawing at the end of the month for my August mystery shoppers. On that note, you guys, again, thank you for joining us. I stayed way past my normal time with you, but I appreciate you sticking with me. And on that note, have a good night and happy stamping.